Welcome, Packer fans and people who have no idea why I'm rambling about sports right now. I know I promised there would be a video about the difference between a cytokine storm and decreased lung capacity dealing with the coronavirus, but we have to talk about something much, much more distressing than all of this, which is the Green Bay Packers 2020 draft class. I have no idea what they have done here. This is the worst thing I have ever seen. I swear I have in the last 4 months. Nothing has made me lose sleep like this Green Bay Packers draft class. And that includes all this lockdown, everything about the virus, the fact that political turmoil, that a political party's campaign is actually legally attacking me. I don't care. None of that has distressed me nearly as much as what the Packers just did over the last couple of days. So let's break this down, because I don't want to hear any optimistic comments in the chat. I don't, because there is no optimism here. I'm going to break it down to why there is no good. There's no way this turns out to be, even if everything works out. I'm looking at this. This is still bad. Even if everything goes according to plan, this is still a bad draft class. The Green Bay Packers are the only team possibly that didn't get better from Thursday to Sunday this week. Every team gets better to draft except for the Packers. So let's start with their first pick, and actually their best pick. Everyone's freaking out that we've drafted Jordan Love to replace Aaron Rodgers potentially, and why are you drafting a backup quarterback or a developmental project when Aaron Rodgers has 4 years left in his contract? This pick I can rationalize. This pick I can get behind, even if they have to give up a 4th round pick. Listen, I'm going to explain why 2nd to 4th round picks are actually where you build great teams. So I can understand Jordan Love. Okay, and I get it's pure ruthlessness of football. Okay, Aaron Rodgers is getting old in age, right? He's just 1 year younger than Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, and Ben Roethlisberger. Okay, Roethlisberger's arm blew out last year. Manning had to retire because he was trash, and Rivers fell off the map. Right? Not everyone's Tom Brady and Drew Brees, right? Aaron Rodgers' arm could fall apart at any moment now. He's 36. Now, I don't think he will. I think he still played great, but Jordan Love, if you think about it, he's a developmental guy. And he actually does kind of fill a need for this team. One of the needs of this team has always been backup quarterback. We've always needed a backup quarterback. Okay, so backup quarterback it's not our biggest need, but it's been filled. That too is, 2 years down the line, if Jordan Love outplays Aaron Rodgers, if he turns into the type of quarterback you think he could be, well, then you have a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback for, 30 straight years in Green Bay, Favre, Rodgers, Love, right? This Jordan Love pick could end up being the greatest draft pick in Green Bay Packers history. Could go down. In 10 years, we could be saying that. So that's not where I have a problem with it. I when they traded, I was hoping they'd get Patrick Queen to actually fill a need because he was still up there. That's what I thought they were going to do. But whatever. I can live with that. First round picks are a bit overrated anyway. This can make sense. I get the Jordan Love pick. Now, so you're thinking the raw football brutality thing. Then in the second round, this is where everything goes down the drain. The only other good picks they have are potentially their 7th rounders. Then you get A.J. Dillon, a running back late in the second round. Why would you take a running back in the second round? This pick gets an F. F, and you don't even know if A.J. Dillon's going to be good. I don't care if he's good or not. If A.J. Dillon turns out to be a Hall of Fame running back, Hall of Fame, goes into the Hall of Fame, we say Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, A.J. Dillon, and Jim Brown. That's the Mount Rushmore of football running backs. This pick gets upgraded from an F to a D. Best case scenario, this is a D because you don't take running backs in the second round. Listen, I would draft a running back every year in the NFL. Every year I draft a running back. It's a very important position, but the value, you have to talk about value here, okay? The reason why you never take a running back in the second round, never take a running back in the second round unless he's so uber talented that everyone just passed him out of the first round because you don't take running backs in the first round either. But this is an A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon isn't the type of guy. The reason you don't take him in the second round, again, value, is the guy you can get in the 5th round, like Aaron Jones, he's the margin of difference between a second round running back and a 5th round running back is razor thin. You can get a guy, you can sign, every year there's an undrafted free agent that's capable of rushing for 1,000 yards. And if you want to get a great running back, the best way to do that is to build an offensive line. Look at what Ezekiel Elliott isn't as good. Ezekiel Elliott isn't that good. He was much better. The Dallas offensive line was great. And I'm not saying Ezekiel Elliott isn't good. That's what I'm saying. But I would never want Ezekiel Elliott on my team because Ezekiel Elliott is too good. He's too good to be a running back. And this is what I'm saying. The problem with Ezekiel Elliott is he can hold out and demand more money. And no running back is worth $15 million. Look at Todd Gurley. Look at Ezekiel Elliott, who's just not worth it right now. In a salary cap league, you can't have this. That's why I like running backs at Aaron Jones' caliber, because he's not good enough to hold out, but he's good enough that he's really good. I mean, Aaron Jones is a perfect running back. You have him for 4 years. He's learned to pass block. He can catch. He's still our best slot receiver right now. But he's a very good running back. Runs the outside zone scheme. Look at San Francisco. They just get a bunch of fast running backs. You can find if you need running back depth, you can just find that off the market. And plus, the Packers hate playing rookie running backs. They don't put running backs in unless they know how to pass protect. They had Dexter Williams last year, and he never played because he wasn't good at pass protection. And Jamal Williams is better. Like, I like Jones and Williams, and I'm perfectly fine with drafting a running back this year. I think it's a good idea because you're not going to be able to keep both of them. I'm fine with letting Aaron Jones go because he'll sign a big contract and you get a compensatory third-round pick. You keep the running back cycle going. This is why I draft a running back every year from the 3rd to the 5th, 6th round. 3rd to 6th round, wherever there's great value, you wait for a running back to drop in value. Someone you say, hey, we have a 2nd-round grade on that guy. He's there in the 4th round. Let's grab him now. Oh, we have a 3rd-round grade on that guy. It's the 6th round. Grab him now. That's when you draft your running backs, because the difference between A.J. Dillon and guys in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round is marginal. But positionally, places like tackle. Okay, what they gave up. They desperately needed wide receiver, inside linebacker. I was screaming for Willie Gay here, a 1st-round talent at inside linebacker who fell because of personal issues. He punched the quarterback in the face. But whatever. Like, if he did that in the 80s, it would have increased his draft stock. So whatever. What I'm saying here is, if A.J. Dillon is great, if he works out, and he's great, and he's absolutely bang on, fantastic, a great running back, absolutely amazing, Hall of Fame, well, then you have to pay him $15 million, and then it screws up your cap, and you can't get other guys on your team. It's just not worth it in the modern NFL with a salary cap. It's just much better to have a running back committee vis-a-vis the San Francisco 49ers, who have great blocking tight ends, who have a great blocking fullback, build the offensive line, and that's how they create a running game, right? By 3-4 just speed outside zone guys fit the scheme. That's much better than having one Ezekiel Elliott at $15 million. It's having 3 guys at the veteran minimum or $2 to $3 million each. It's so much. The positional value makes no sense for A.J. Dillon. It makes no sense. Even if he's Hall of Fame, it's a D. If he's just very good, then whatever. I mean, you could get another very good guy in the 5th round. It just makes no sense. So running backs you take from at most the 3rd round. Running backs you take rounds 4 to 6 every year. You fill in a new guy, and that's how I would do it. So then you have Josiah DeGurga. So the optimism people are saying here is he's going to play tight end / fullback halfback. He's going to be this hybrid guy. We got rid of Danny Vitale. He's going to be a fullback that can catch, can play halfback, can really help out the run game. Listen, okay. So after day 2, I mean, day 2 is really where you build a great team. You build great teams on day 2 again. Round 1 is overrated. Rounds 2 through 4 are really round. So day 2 and 3. This is where you build great championship teams. Championship teams are made on day 2 of the draft. A.J. Dillon is a reach. You don't draft a running back day 2 unless I can get the DeAndre Swift. I mean, the only reason you would actually I'd rather draft a running back in the 1st round over the 2nd round. Because when you draft him in the 1st round, at least you get 5 years on that rookie contract, and you don't want to give a running back the 2nd contract. So that's why it makes sense for the Chiefs to get Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the 1st round. It makes much more sense. Picking Clyde Edwards-Helaire and pick 32 makes much more sense than picking him at pick 33, because you get that extra year, and you only give running backs 1 contract in modern NFL. So the Chiefs picking a running back because that's a position of need, and you get an extra year, makes a lot of sense. Round 2 makes absolutely no sense. Round 2 is where you never should pick a running back. There should be no running back. Any team worth its salt would never pick a running back in the 2nd round unless he's a generational talent that is dropped to you in the 2nd round. Or if you have desperate need and you're just so thin at running back, you absolutely need it, which is not the case of the Green Bay Packers here. Like, I get picking running back because you're going to have 2 comfortable, but it makes no sense. So you basically wasted the Dexter Williams pick, and I wouldn't be surprised if A.J. Dillon just doesn't play this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he just doesn't see the field because he doesn't know how to block. So Josiah DeGurra. Okay, he can help this running game. And I get the pick. I get the pick at Josiah DeGurra. I'm not bashing this type of, let's get a tight end fullback hybrid because, if you have a fullback who can run routes and block, the running game's going back. And one of the things I've been saying with the NFL is, and this is what the Packers did, is there's going to be because of San Francisco's success, there's going to be increased focus on the running game, but teams are going to confuse it. I didn't think the Packers would, but they did. Teams are going to confuse increased need in the running game with increased focus on the running back. And that's what the Packers did here. Now, Josiah DeGurga, whatever. This is actually the right philosophy, is get this H-back, tight end, fullback hybrid who can block, also pass catch. So you add an element to the pass to the run. He can get out, block on the wide zone, outside zone scheme. It's a good scheme fit. you get this guy in the 6th round. This is a 6th rounder. You get a tight end. You don't draft a fullback in the 3rd round. Again, you don't draft a fullback. You don't draft you don't draft a halfback in the running back in the 2nd round. You don't draft a fullback in the 3rd round. This is insane. Like this, if this was the 4th and 5th round picks, and I'm saying, okay, this is what they're kind of doing here. Yeah, running back in the 4th round, who's a good running back. Nothing wrong with A.J. Dillon, okay? Nothing wrong with Josiah Kirk. What's wrong with them is where they're picking them, and not understanding values and how you not how you build a bad team. Again, they passed on Willie Gay, inside linebacker, in the 2nd, and they passed on also passed on Devin Duvernay in the slot. They passed on all the wide receivers to get still available to get Josiah DeGurga. I think Duvernay just off the clock right before then, but they still passed on Matt Pert and Jeff Driscoll, who was another position of need, offensive tackle. So the Packers said, screw it. We're not getting we're going to develop a backup tight end fullback, right? A developmental backup tight end / fullback. Okay. We're not to increase the running game. Instead of drafting a right tackle, because, Rick Wagner is a Band-Aid solution at best. He's a Band-Aid solution. Band-Aid solution for Rick Wagner. Okay, so you need to replace Rick Wagner, and he's a Band-Aid, so why not draft Matt Pert or Jack Driscoll, who was there, who were like mid-second, 1st round prospects who dropped you in the 3rd round, who potentially, after maybe sitting a year, could compete for a starting offensive line thing. So you say, okay, no, screw the offensive line, screw wide receiver. Okay, let's go. Then they gave away their 4th round pick for Love. Again, I can live with that if the Love thing pans out, because if Love pans out, it's a quarterback shift and leave, whatever. Then you Kamal Martin, who was at least, okay, they reached for him, but at least it was a reach at a position of need. The other guys, they reached at positions they didn't really need. So here's a reach at a position of need. Classic drafting mistake. He's just a guy at inside linebacker. At least they now have 3 bodies there, because they got Christian Kirksey. Blake Martinez couldn't cover on 3rd down. Like, go if you think Blake Martinez is a good player getting tackles, like, watch the game against Kansas City and watch that Travis Kelce touchdown where Patrick Mahomes, no, it wasn't Patrick Mahomes, it was Kellen Moore, whatever his face, just lobs the ball up to Travis Kelce, and it's in there. I think it's in there for like 5 seconds. And just watch Blake Martinez, whose guy was Travis Kelce, although it's just a lame duck, and just watch him spin in circles and not know what to do. Just not know where he is in the field, not where to know Travis Kelce is in the field. Well, Travis Kelce just kind of waits for a lame duck, and Blake Martinez is just spinning in circles. So at least we got Christian Kirksey, who was injured all of last year. Okay. And don't tell me Delvin Funch is solving our receiver issues. We have to get to that too. So, okay. We passed on KJ Hill. I was like, I went to bed so angry. Like, hopefully KJ Hill's there in the 5th round. He was there. We get Kamal Martin instead. Oh my God. But then in the 6th round, I'm like, KJ Hill is still here. We still have a slot guy. There's also Process, the guy. There's still a couple good slot receivers who have fallen. It's a deep wide receiver class. Lots of slot isn't a position of need. A lot of NFL teams have a slot guy because they're the most common position to find. The Packers, for some reason, have no slot receivers. The Packers have Devontae Adams and then 5 of the exact same guy. 5 of the exact same guy. You don't tell me there's any difference between Alan Lazard, Equimania St. Brown, Devin Funches, Jake Kumro, and Marcus Valdes-Scantling. Except Marcus Valdes-Scantling is fast and can't catch. But they're all like 6'5", boundary players. They can't play the slot. They're not polished route runners, but they're really big guys with great ball skills. And that's not bad for Aaron Rodgers' skill set. He likes throwing to the boundary. He likes back shoulder fades. So those receivers fit Rodgers. You still need someone, though, to play the slot. Don't tell me we're just never going to run 3 wide receiver sets. Like, I'm happy drafting tight ends, going 3 tight ends, doing what the Ravens did, extra running, tight ends who can catch. I'm fine with that. Like, I'm fine running that thing. But you can't not have a slot receiver. And the Packers do not have a slot receiver and kept passing it up. Then all 3 picks in the 6th round, John Runyon, Jake Hudson, Simon Stepniak, all of them, 2 of them are guard tackle hybrids, and Jake Hudson's the center. Like, I don't get this. So you're drafting backup offensive line. So hopefully you're saying, okay, one of these guys might be our starting right guard, because we have Corey Linsley and Elgin Jenkins, who I really like Jenkins. I think he was a great pick. So now we have maybe competition for guard. Okay, fine. But do we need 3 guys to compete for the guard? You're telling me you can't use one of those guys on a slot wide receiver who is still there? You can't get a guy, like a position of actual need for this team? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And if you're going to say, okay, now we're putting this priority on the offensive line, why weren't you doing that in the 3rd round? That's when you get more value out of the offensive line. Like, offensive line is such an important position. Why are you throwing... Okay, yeah, so the competition for the last offensive line spot in camp. Like, who's going to be that 8th and 9th offensive lineman? Ooh, that's going to be a real great story to watch. But again, none of these guys are starters. None of these guys are going to be projected starters. Like every other team, like don't tell me A.J. Dillon's going to come in and be better than Aaron Jones. And don't tell me he's going to be better than Jamal Williams at pass protection. He's great at the back of pass protection. Jamal Williams is serviceable. Right? Maybe, yeah, A.J. Dillon's going to be better than Jamal Williams, but he's not going to be a better pass protector. And that's why they're not going to play him, because the Packers don't play rookie running backs. They don't play rookie running backs because they don't trust them in pass protection. And A.J. Dillon is not good in pass protection. He was a guy they just handed the ball to. And, like, that's fine as a developmental thing, but take a guy like that in the 4th or 5th round. Take Willie Gay, take an inside linebacker. Instead, you just got a body in Kamal Martin. Then you draft a bunch of offensive line depth. You pass on a slot receiver. You pass on a slot receiver. You pass on a slot receiver. We're the only team without one. And we don't sign free agents. Like, they're not going to sign free agents. Like, and again, all the receivers we have outside of Devontae Adams are the exact same guy. The exact same guy. Like, yes, Funches is probably an upgrade over Kumaro and Scantling, and I will believe that Equanimeous St. Brown can come back from injury and be a good wide receiver. That doesn't change the fact that there's no true slot receiver here. There's no one with a diverse skill set. There's no diversity of skill set. You have a Devontae Adams, a guy on the boundary who can go into the slot and do everything. Okay, but Devontae Adams, like you waste his value turning him into your slot guy, which he can play. You can move him around the field, but you need an actual good slot guy to take the pressure off Devontae Adams. They just have, right? If you play 3 wide receiver sets, you need someone with skill sets. If you put 4 wide receivers in, that means 2 guys are in the slot, which means you need someone else with the slot skills, and they only have 1 guy, and that guy is better on the outside because he's Devontae Adams. Makes no sense. Drives me up a wall. Then we get to the 7th round. Vernon Scott, defensive end, and Jonathan Garvin, edge pick. These are good 7th round picks, but they're good 7th round picks. They can play special teams, whatever. And this is a position the Packers need, defensive back. You need a slot corner. They like running hybrid safety combos. They like the Ravon Green before he was injured. Backup edge, you can always substitute in pass rushers. That's always a good thing on sub packages to get a fresh pass rusher in there. Like, so again, these 7th round picks, this is kind of, I actually kind of agree with what they did in the 7th round. This is what the 7th round is for. But, like, for taking all these offensive linemen, they still passed on offensive linemen who were dropping, like Prince Tangawanu or whatever. Like, a guy who's projected 3rd round, but is dropping for, like, character issues. Those are the guys you grab in the 6th round. So, yeah, he might be a bust. He might be you might be a cokehead. You might have to cut him. But it's a 6th round pick. You take the upside of the 6th round pick. You don't take guys to compete for a backup spot after you took 2 other guys to compete for that same backup spot, when it's not even a position of need. I don't get this. I don't get why you're drafting Corey Linsley's replacement if it looks like you're drafting Aaron. Like, I don't get this. Even if this all turns out, even if Josiah Deguara turns into a great tight end fullback hybrid, you could still trade down your 3rd round pick and get this guy in the 5th round. And you could have got another pick. You could have got a slot receiver. This doesn't get better. Love, I'm fine with it. He's a backup quarterback. He's not going to make the team better. He'll be better if Rodgers gets hurt, but if Rodgers gets hurt, this team's screwed. Like, Rodgers has to carry this team again. A.J. Dillon, he's not better than Aaron Jones day one. He's not going to see much playing time because he's not a better pass protector than Jamal Williams. He's not a better pass catcher than Jamal Williams. He's not a better pass catcher than Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is our best slot receiver right now. And he's the starting running back. I don't get this. Josiah Deguara, even if he works out, great. We can improve the run game. He's the only guy who can make this team a bit better. And we're talking about the fullback. And that's the only guy in the first 2 days who we can talk about maybe making this team better. That's the optimism thing. Maybe we got a really good hybrid fullback out of this draft. Yeah, maybe we did in the 3rd round. That's not like... You can get those guys as undrafted free agents, for God's sakes. You can get 2 undrafted free agents at that position and save that 3rd round pick. Matt Pert, Jack Driscoll were sitting there. Potential starters on the offensive line. And they hit the pass line. Kamal Martin, a body at inside linebacker, so I guess that's good because Oren Burks is always hurt and Kristen Kirksey has injury deficiency and someone has to play inside linebacker, and I guess they don't want it to be Willie Gay or Patrick Queen because I guess they're too talented and fast and stuff, and that's no good. I mean, they'll be better in pass coverage than Blake Martinez because I'd be better. I was in the 7th round after the 6th round, I was sitting by my phone saying, are the Packers going to draft me? Am I going to get drafted by the Packers? Who knows? They might have drafted Jordan Rodgers, Aaron's little brother that he hates. I don't get this. This has ruined my life, and it's literally been the most stressful I've been in a while. And this is also the longest video I've done. It's this 20 minutes. It's a 20-minute video on how much I hate this Packers draft, and you had to watch all of it. So thank you so much for watching all of it. I know a lot of you are confused, like, why weren't you supposed to talk about Trudeau and the politics? Like, I don't care. I don't care what happens to the country. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I really don't care, because this is the only sporting event on for the next 6 months, and I did my homework. I watched film, and I don't get it. I don't get it. I have so much more to say. I have so much more to say about the travesty that is this Packers draft, that even if all these guys work out, okay, if Kamal Martin turns into a Hall of Fame linebacker, okay, then then that's great. If all these guys turn to Hall of Famers, then I look like an idiot. But you're drafting a bunch of backups, and we're an NFC Championship team. Take some high ceiling guys at least. Come on, Gutekunst. What are you doing? You could fire him right now. I would fire him right now. Tomorrow we'll talk about something about the government. This is fun. I'd rather do this. Saturday I'm doing videos that I want. These are going to be about sports, or in fact, your books. I'm going to talk about Game of Thrones, or the Wheel of Time, or more sports. Yeah, that's it. Saturdays are now videos I want to do. So screw you all. Who's calling me? I don't care.